Imagine you had an appointment with somebody and you agreed to meet the person by 11 a.m. on a Monday morning. You agreed to meet this person at maybe a cafe in your city. You trust and believe that the person will be there because you have communicated your desires to this person. So you go to this cafe by 11 a.m. in the morning, right on time, bang on, and then you send the person the text message, hey, what's up? I'm waiting for you at this cafe. Now imagine minutes go by, hours go by, and there's no sign of this person. You begin to wonder, is this person okay? Did anything happen to the person on the way? You reread your text messages over and over again. Did I say something offensive to the person? Did the person change their mind? Did I not communicate myself very well? Did I not send the location, stamp or the location guide to the place? Did I not do my own part? You begin to wonder. But then, in as much as you're being worried, waiting for the person to come, everyone passing through that restaurant or through the cafe is coming to meet you and they're saying, oh, don't worry, Tosin is on our way, assuming the person's name is Tosin. Tosin is coming. Tosin will be here soon. But you're like, how do you guys know Tosin will be here soon? I had the agreement with Tosin and Tosin has not shown up in the past 1 hour. The catch is that you cannot stand up. You can't go anywhere because whatever this person is bringing for you or what you want to discuss with this person is so important to you. It's almost like you've sent out a lot of goals and plans in your life around that thing. Just imagine how gut-wrenching, how heartbreaking it is to know that this person, you want to believe that what everyone is saying is correct, that this person is on their way, but you're yet to see this person. That's exactly what this book is about. This book, oh my goodness, it talks about the journey of couples, or the couple that this book was written about through infertility. And I know this is such a sensitive topic that, thankfully in our generation now it's more openly discussed, but it doesn't still change the stereotypes, the stigma, the psychological impact on couples and marriages. Even your friends, in as much as people want to support you when you're going through infertility, they're still very careful not to step on your toes and not to overcross their boundaries. That's literally what this book is about. This book is like the journal of somebody that was waiting, a couple's journey through infertility for many years. This book, I would say the author said it was inspired by her own personal journey. So definitely some things in the book, it's hard to tell which one was fiction and which one actually happened to her. Although at the end of the book, she did shed light on some areas as well. So let me tell you about the characters in this book and kind of summarize this book for you. So basically this book is centered around a couple called Oma and Ikide. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing their names right. They were in love, they got married, life was good, it was okay, starting out their lives. The lady had to move, to join the husband, everything was good, right? The lady had influences from her family as regards, spiritual centers, churches, prophets. You know how in African context or African religious context, people like to, go and check the faith of their marriage, or faith, yeah, F-A-T of their marriage. They like to go and check if they're compatible, if the marriage will yield like good tidings. They actually went to do that, and they had some warnings about their union that if they decide to get married, they would not have children. Now let me know your thoughts below before I carry on, if you believe in checking and going to go and check spiritual checks if someone is your spouse and all of that. They had that warning, but the man was so in love with her. And he was like, no, we're children of God. They centered around a Christian couple, by the way. The husband decided to keep that to himself and, was like, I love this woman. It is God's will for me. I've prayed. I have peace. Whatever it is, I'm not marrying her to have a child. I'm marrying her for companionship. We'll be together. And they did. But then down the line, this thing started haunting them. These prophecies started trying for a baby. And, obviously, trying for a baby is one thing. Then there are the external factors, finding out where exactly the problem is, dealing with people asking you questions, asking, oh, you've been married for a minute, and are you guys like not trying? Are you trying? Now, this couple never thought they had any problem because they were fine. They wanted to wait a bit to have a child, which is something I can relate with as well, because when I got married myself, I wanted to wait a bit before I had a child. But this couple wanted to do the same, and for some reason, when they were ready, it wasn't just forthcoming. Now, this book takes you through the journey of, dealing with relatives, nosy friends, people that actually even wish you very well. They want you to do well. They're just concerned about you. It deals with, even you as a believer, testing your faith, going to places that you're looking for the way out. You guys, things as ridiculous as, you know, all these birthing centers that they will say, oh, they'll just be giving you injections and your stomach will be bloating, you'll be having all the signs of a pregnancy, but they're literally just fraudsters and people that steal babies. In as much as they were both educated people, the desperation, the desire for a child, the hopelessness they were feeling was making them even try things that any logical sane person would not try. And I know that, you know, when you hear things like, oh, maybe someone goes to a church to go and drink some water so that they can get pregnant, or someone goes to some elderly man or elderly woman's, I can't even call it a shrine, a center, medical center, to get their womb washed, puts their fist right up through, you know, your vagina to your womb, and they are washing. They say they're trying to reset your womb, you know, things that are not even backed by medical science. But one thing the author actually highlighted, which I resonated with, was when you're in need for something and you're becoming desperate, all sense of logic is tossed out of the window. She went through, you know, going through those things just, okay, at least, you know what, I fulfilled all righteousness. She had her own issues with, you know, fibroids, endometriosis, you know, so many challenges that a lot of women in today's world still face. And also the man also had issues with, like, you know, fertility, sperm mobility, sperm quality, and all those kind of things. This book also, you know, sheds light on looking at other means of having children, how they tried to do IVF not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, and everything failed. Them having to consider using a surrogate, the husband coming into terms that, okay, you know what, should we try donor eggs, or should we try like an actual surrogate, or should we put donor eggs in you and our eggs in a surrogate? Let's know exactly what the, you know, problem is, and how a bulk of their resources went to, you know, this quest of childbearing, and how it almost became a god to them, how their life literally was centered around this. And you know, this book details so many things, how people say things to you, and even if they mean well, it rubs you off the wrong way because you're so touchy and you're so sensitive and your ears are so alert. And even when people say things to you that, you know, they're just saying it in passing, you hold on to those things, you're so hopeful. This author really goes, you know, through the emotions that these characters went through, because she's been through it herself. It also talks about how, you know, you can have angels in human form. One of the bosses of the lady introduced her to somebody that decided to sponsor one of their trips to go all the way to France to have an IVF session done, and they did it. In fact, when I was reading that part of the book, I was like, goodness me, like, I'm sure it's going to work out. I mean, they're going all the way to France, they're leaving the shores of Nigeria to have this procedure done, and it did not work out. Imagine that blow, you know. It was really, really overwhelming. It even talks about even the attitude of fertility centers in a whole. How, you know, what the things that you would ideally not think would matter to someone waiting, but even when, you know, IVF doesn't go well, what's the post therapy that they offer for couples? What are the things that they help couples, just to ensure that even if the thing did not work out, they're trying to, you know, do their best to ensure that they're not just using them as a cash cow, for lack of a better word. This book talks about all the, in fact, if I keep going on, there's so many salient points I will talk about. Even how the author herself said, you know, she had to step out in faith, and she added everyone that she knew that was also waiting on the journey with her, other people too that had their own fertility issues, and how that caused a huge, even me when I was reading that part, I'm like, how would you just add people to a group? You know, what if I don't want people to know my business? Which was literally what, you know, she said one of her friends, you know, said to her, that these people did not know themselves, but she was the only link between them, and she added up to like a prayer waiting group, and how it backlashed. Without there was a backlash, and the thing just backfired. Exactly, that's the word I'm looking for. And how they started fighting, and even if she was, you know, doing it from faith, it cost her some friendships as well. So, you know, it just talks about tests, faith, trials, application of wisdom. This book was a good read, although at the end of the book there were some parts where she was, you know, sharing her own personal journey, and I was like, maybe you shouldn't have done that, you know. Maybe you shouldn't have said that to that person. Maybe that's why they gave you this reaction. But, you know, we're all learning. Nobody's perfect. Even when you are going through challenges, you're not the only victim. You can also offend people. Even when you're going through trying times, you're the one that you're going through. The world is breaking apart. You're waiting for the Lord for a job, a baby, a house. You can still offend people even in your waiting season. And that's just the reality of life. So, yeah, this one was an interesting read. And yeah, I think you should get it as a woman. It just opens your eyes to see, or even as a couple, to see how, you know, other people's experiences and how you can just educate yourself about the process. I read this book in about, I think a couple of hours actually. The font is nice, it's well spaced out. I think it's about 17 or 18 chapters. Honestly, as I said, I could go on and on. At the end of the book, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to tell you if they had a baby or if they didn't, or if they're still waiting till tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you. If you're interested, make sure you check out this book. It's called Almost Seed, and it says Promise of Life from Her Body. This book is by Loretta Olubunmi Amosu. It's a Nigerian author, and she talks about her journey. So I'm going to put all the links to purchase this book in the description box below, like maybe where to get it from, Amazon and all that good stuff, and also the author's handle, so you guys can, you know, connect to her if you are interested. So yes, that's about it for my review. Thumbs up this video, and if you'd like more book reviews like this, definitely leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on based on things that I've shared, if anything jumped out to you. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye bye.